Shaitanir Rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We're among the people to whom guidance has come, and we're very grateful to that guidance, and it's wonderful. I'd like to take the opportunity to greet you, my brothers and sisters, with the noble and universal greeting of peace, the greeting that has been used by the prophets and messengers of our universal creator. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The Quran says, keep reminding, for reminding benefits the believers. And there's a reason for that, for those of us who understand the importance of reminding ourselves and being reminded by the Quran and reminding each other. And we're here to remind each other that there is a challenge for us while we are here. The Quran speaks of the challenge while we are here, that who will remember Allah and experience assurance, and those who will not receive the guidance and they will continue in insecurity, they'll be fearful and they'll grieve. But those who receive the guidance, they will not fear and they will not grieve. I was telling you, this is what a believer is. A believer is one who is secure. A secure person does not have insecurities. Basically a secure person, a believer, is one who does not fear and does not grieve. Why does a believer not fear and grieve? Because a believer is actually aware of Allah, and they're aware that Allah really is truly not only all-powerful but benevolent, beneficent, and the blessing and benefiting of us. They are aware that Allah is truly the only real loving towards us. We can't love ourselves, we can't love each other in a real way. Allah the unique has caused us to be, and that is an act of love for humanity that we can't feel for ourselves and for each other. And He has caused us to be human beings, the highest life forms on earth, given the best of forms, given us intellect and affect, allowing us to operate in our lives, and to, with and through Him, create realities. Allah has privileged us human beings, So all the inhabitants of the heavens were asked to bow before the Prophet Adam, upon his creation. And the Quran says Allah breathed His spirit into us and humans. Nowhere does it say He breathed His spirit into anybody else or any other creation. You get what I mean? So those of us who become Allah aware, who really become Allah aware, we clear our minds of those distortions that's in our minds, and we clear our hearts of those diseases that are there. See? And so human beings, when they are on the planet, they are identified with their mind and their mind ideas. They're not seeing the reality. They don't know they're not seeing the reality. They have ideas. Human beings, all of us, after Adam and Eve, colluded with Satan and ended up in a state of forgetfulness of Allah, and then they regretted it, then human beings have been living in a mind that doesn't allow them to see clearly. Human beings have been living without being unaware. They've been living unaware without being aware. This is why it's so important to remember Allah, and the guidance is there for us to remember Allah, to become Allah aware, to become God conscious, to experience Tawheed, the onlyness, the oneness of our Creator. So this is the situation that all human beings, while we are here, we identified with our minds. All human beings, we identified with our minds and all the stories in our minds. And we're so deeply identified with our minds that we can't see the truth. And we believe these stories in our minds. That's why Satan whispers into the minds and hearts of people. He stands on the path. See, human beings, we have this kind of thinking, and then we have these feelings, these emotions from those thinking, and we are fearful and feel guilty and ashamed, and we feel we're not good enough and there's not enough in the world. We have all these kind of insecurities from the mind, and then it distorts the way we feel. These emotions, we have these emotions, and we live identified with these mind ideas, thinking that it's true, and then feeling those distorted emotions of guilt, shame, unworthiness, fear, threat, and so on and so forth. And then you can spend your whole life in that human identity, unaware of Allah, unaware of what you are, who you are, where you are, what's going on here. You can live your life in the trance that most human beings live and die in, or you can awaken from the trance. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim is a commitment to be aware. I don't want to be fooled by satanic promptings in my mind and the diseased emotions in my heart. I don't want to act on, I don't want to act on those insecurities. I don't want to act on this, because that's what human beings are doing. When you look at other human beings today that are unaware, as I look at other human beings that are more unaware than I am, then you see that they are in a trance, because I was in that trance. I can see that trance now, because I'm not in that trance. I'm Allah aware to the degree that I'm Allah aware. Shukr to Allah, guidance has come to me. I'm on the path, and I'm Allah aware. So I don't feel fear like how I used to feel fear before that most human beings feel fear. I don't feel grief like I used to feel grief before that most human beings feel grief. My heart is being purified. I'm bringing to Allah a purified heart. So I'm more aware. And I'm more experiencing. When you are in the trance, when you are worshipping Satan, when you have all these ideas in your mind that keep you from seeing the truth, the haqq, the truth about Allah, the truth about you, who you are, where you are. When you're living in that trance, when you're in your mind, and you're there, and you're in those emotions, then you react to the world. You're afraid of feeling bad. You don't want to feel bad. You think feeling good is avoiding feeling bad. You have this guilt, shame, this unworthiness. And you live from that. You don't really care for you. You don't really care for others. You don't really let others care for you. You try to take care of yourself. You think you can take care of yourself. You deny that Allah is taking care of you. And you start acting like you can take care of others. And you deny that Allah is taking care of you and others. And you turn to other people to take care of you. Or you turn to jobs and money and all that. You become very obsessed. You commit shirk. You understand? You start thinking somebody's going to make me feel okay. If I have money, I'm going to feel okay. I'm going to feel okay on condition. And you're going to start thinking things like, I don't feel okay because, this man is like this woman is like that, this job is like this, the world is like this. So you don't know security, because a secure person experiences a peace that's got nothing to do with this world. A secure person experiences a peace that has got nothing to do with this world. A secure person experiences a peace that's got to do with the creator of the world. A secure person, a believer, is not in a trance that I'm not okay until I get something. I'm not okay until something changes. Only because I got something I'm okay and I mustn't lose it. You know what I mean? A secure person is not in that trance of being controlled by the world and trying to control the world. Now, a secure person, a believer, has submitted that mind and those emotions and that identity and that reactivity, that obsessive, that compulsive, that addictive, ways. A secure person is not coming from the belief in need and neediness and not good enoughness and unworthiness. A secure person is not what Satan, because Satan whispers into the hearts of the people. See, but those in the remembrance of Allah, over them Satan will have no authority. Those who are devout in the worship of Allah, that means those who are sincere in their relationship with Allah, and they have that relationship, they are aware of Allah, and they have that iman in that heart, they have the yaqeen, they have certainty, they have taqwa. For them, Satan has no authority over them. And that's in the Quran, where Allah says, over those who are devout in my worship, you will have no authority. And Satan agrees. I will have no authority over those who are devout in your worship. Now this doesn't mean somebody's acting holy-moly and somebody's all very religious. Because remember what the Quran tells us, do not say you're a believer, for faith is not entered into your heart. Rather say you are submissive in religion. Who is the Quran talking to? Those Bedouins that said, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. They say, I testify, there's no God but God, and the Prophet Muhammad is the final revelator. They're just saying things, and they might say like, how should we behave, and what's right and what's wrong. They're like submissive, like tell me where I'm in error, tell me. but they're not in their hearts aware of Allah. Their hearts are diseased, the Quran says. They stand in prayer, but their hearts lack the smallest of kindnesses. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Like where I've been and where I am and where people are and where they can be if they want to. That woe to those who stand in prayer, but their hearts lack the smallest of kindnesses. Because that's how somebody is a hypocrite. Because they're not aware of kindness. They're not aware of Allah's kindness. The more aware of Allah's kindness you are, the more kind you'll be. If you can recognize Allah's kindness, then you can be kind. If you can't recognize Allah's kindness, you can't really be kind. You'll be a people pleaser. You'll be trying to avoid feeling guilty. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to say no. I don't want to disturb anybody or disappoint anybody. You'll be a people pleaser. You think you're very kind, but you're not kind. Behind that apparency, that appearance of kindness is a codependency. That codependency is satanic. You think you're nice because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and you want to be there for everybody. But you're not aware that Allah is there for them and for you. You're not aware that you can be caring for you and you can care for others and others can care for you. Codependent people, I was one of them, are very spiritually sick. Not to say that others, dependent and pseudo-independent, are not very sick too. Today, I can be kind to myself and I can be kind to the right people. And I can let kind people be kind to me. See, it's a difference from where I was and how I lived, worshipping Satan with all those, thoughts in my mind and that emotions and disturbing me, distorting my heart, and that identity and that operating in a way in the world that is keeping me blind, spiritually blind. Shukr to Allah, He gave us guidance and I'm among those who chose to receive the guidance. And I chose to be Allah aware. So when a person is not Allah aware, they're against themselves. They're against themselves. If you don't become aware of Allah, you're against yourself. And you'll see people carry guilt and shame and unworthiness and they'll be against them. So they'll harm themselves. And sometimes when you're against yourself and you're really against yourself, you'll be against others. You'll be against others. So I call it self-suppression, where you are against caring, Allah's caring for you, against caring for yourself. You're against other people's caring for you. You don't really care for others, although you might think you are because you're such a people pleaser and you're a nice person and you're a caretaker. So there's self-suppression. I was there, right? I know. I wasn't for myself. I was against myself. Now, when you worship Satan, that's the first thing you can recognize, that you're against yourself. You won't care for yourself. You won't be caring for you. Because you don't know that Allah, how caring He is to you. So you don't know that His caring is a mercy. You don't know that there's nothing you could do to cause Allah to care for you. That Allah is the caring and Allah has blessed human beings. You don't know that. You see, when you are a non-believer, you can fill up your head with ideas that God doesn't exist, or you can fill up your ideas that somebody or something in the world is making you okay, shirk, or you can be a hypocrite. And you can say, no, I believe in God, and Allah, 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 here I am on the prayer mat, here I am with my scarf and my topi and my beard and all that. But you say you believe in Allah, and the last day the Quran says that they don't. In their hearts is a disease. Allah says they think they're fooling Allah and the believers, but they only fool themselves. They don't fool Allah, they only fool themselves. So I can see right through these people. You understand? Because they perceive it not, the Quran says, that they think they're lying to Allah and the believers, but they only lie to themselves. They're definitely not lying to Allah. And in their hearts is a disease, and that disease is expanded. That's how you know the person is a hypocrite. There's no kindness to themselves and to others, and they won't receive kindness from others because they haven't recognized that Allah alone is truly kind, and the extent of Allah's kindness, they're not aware. They're not aware. I call them the human minus the being. The human minus the being is not the human plus the being. Whenever there's a being aware, when there's a human that is being aware of Allah, a human that is Allah aware, that is a humane being. A humane being. So you get humans minus the being, and they're full everywhere. When you look at, I was one of them. They have no kindness to themselves and to others, and they don't receive kindness from others. They against themselves, because they haven't accepted the truth that Allah has favored us and we are the favored creation, and how loving Allah is to us and we have the love of Allah. They haven't accepted the truth about Allah. They're still in their phantom self, they're still in their Satan worshipping self. They haven't submitted their mind and their emotions of shame and guilt and all that. They act in ways that, against them being cared for. They don't receive Allah's forgiveness. They don't allow Allah to forward them. They're not, patiently persevering. They get very impatient with others, with themselves, with what's going on. They try to get things to change. They try to get Allah to change things. So these people who are not humane, I was one of them. I'm now a bit humane, more humane than I was. Enough to talk about it. Enough to tell you where I was and where I am. Enough to tell you where you might be. You know what I mean? Shukr to Allah. I'm here and I'm talking about this. But imagine if I wasn't here and I wasn't talking about it. I would have been lost like others. Imagine if I died in that state. You understand? So guidance has come to me and I've received it. I'm no longer insecure. I'm no longer as afraid as I was. I don't feel the grief that I used to feel. I'm aware of Allah. In the remembrance of Allah, my heart experiences assurance. I'm remembering Allah abundantly. I'm making great progress. I'm not the same human that I was. I'm now humane. In my heart there's kindness. I stand in prayer, but you'll find kindness in my heart. I bow, I'm among those who bow, but there's kindness in my heart. For me, starting with it, you know what I mean? If you can't give kindness to yourself, who are you going to give kindness to? If the first human being you can't respect is you, which human being are you going to respect? You know what I mean? So, the point is that if you are a person and you haven't become Allah aware, you'll be against yourself. You won't be for yourself. And you won't let His kindness reach you. You won't let your kindness reach you. You won't let others' kindness reach you. Because you don't let His kindness reach you, you don't receive your kindness. And you don't give kindness to other people. Your heart is a disease. You're in your head. It's all about this world. Let's make money. Let's make more money. Let's keep ourselves safe. Let's avoid problems. Let's get excited. Let's go for relief, safety, excitement. There will be no submission that this world is temporary. And we as human beings in this world are temporary. And there's a creator. There will be none of that. People will be in a trance. All they are aware of is the world, the world, the world. Like it's going to be here forever. I mean, do you know anybody like that? I mean, you who come here and listen to this, this remembrance of Allah, this reminding, it's a good sign. If you're listening to this live or you're listening to this recording, it's a good sign. Because those who are really, really lost will not come to be reminded, and they will not value being reminded, because keep reminding, for reminding benefits the believers, you see. So I keep reminding myself, I keep reminding myself and others, because I'm for myself and for others. You know what I mean? So I wasn't always for myself and for others. And not everybody is for themselves and for others. People are against themselves. And you can be against yourself to the point where you want to take out your hate on somebody else. You want to blame somebody else. It's you. It's you. I'm unhappy because of you. If you only change, come for counseling. Change. The world needs to change the judgment, good and evil. That person is bad. That person is wrong. See? So there's no humility. See, there's no humility. When you worship Satan, there's no humility before Allah, that I am because Allah is. Allah alone actually is. And because of Him, I'm a temporary being. I'm a temporary being. There's no humility. What can I know? What can any human being know as created beings? We start thinking we know, people know. We start thinking that prophets know. Even the Prophet Muhammad said, I have no knowledge of that. Allah has knowledge of that. Whatever He shares with me, I share with you. You see? When Adam in the heavens was asked, what do you know? He said, only that which you have allowed me to know. So, when human beings are aware of Allah, they are humble. They're humble before Allah. They recognize there's only Allah, the unique and supreme. Allah alone, the unimaginable in terms of incomprehensible. The extent of Allah's greatness we'll never know as human beings. We can be aware to some extent. How can a human being know the Creator? How can the Creator really fully grasp. We created, we limited. Allah alone is the but we can grasp, we can be Allah conscious, and we can purify our hearts in that. But our minds will never grasp the greatness of Allah in its complete totality. Can't be. We created beings. We came into existence. Allah is unique and supreme. Allah is the one power, there is no other, alone knowing. So those of us who guidance has come to, and we humble ourselves, we know we can't trust our minds. Minds are distorted. It's got all these stories about who's wrong and who's right, and we right and who's wrong and right, and blaming and all that. Can't trust our hearts. It's disease. We got guilt, shame. We're feeling bad. We're trying to get others to feel bad. We're guilt tripping others, blaming others. We don't want to take responsibility. We're impatient, trying to get things to change. That's how you know you are not submissive in truth. You might be submissive in religion, but you haven't submitted to Allah. When you allow yourself to be humble, and be humble. The human that is being humble is humane. The human that is not being humble, I just say the human minus the being, is just human. So on the planet you'll find everybody is human until they submit, until they become secure, until they become God aware. When somebody becomes God aware, they're not human anymore. They're human being aware, which is humane. They got a being in them. They in their being. If you're not in your being, you're a human being, but you're not aware of your being, then you're just human, and you are in trouble. You are insecure, you're separate, you're feeling disconnected. You're not aware of Allah. So what happens is, those people who are unaware of Allah, they're against themselves. And if you're really, really against yourself in a big way, you'll really become against others. You start hating others, guilt-tripping others, blaming others. You want to attack other people. You feel like a victim, and you'll persecute others. You'll be like, hate you, and you're bad, all that, right? But you don't know Allah is compassionate and merciful, and you don't know Allah is forgiving, and you don't know how in error we are, but Allah is still kind and merciful and forgiving, and you're not feeling that. So you'll project that guilt onto somebody else, and you'll be like, you are the bad one, you know what I mean? Or you'll just hate yourself or hate others. Satan will just tell you you're bad, and you say, yes, I'm bad. Satan will tell you other people are bad, and you say, yes, you're bad. Satan will say, attack yourself, harm yourself. So when you're against yourself, you'll be against yourself, your body, your life, your future life. You won't care for you won't care for your body, you won't care for your life, you won't care for your future self, your future body, your future life. You'll act in a way that is harmful to you if you're against yourself. And if you're really against yourself, you'll act in a way that's harmful to others too, in an extreme way. You'll take out your hatred of yourself on other people. You won't give anybody a chance. You go for them, And so that is like what I noticed with me. When I became Allah aware, I stopped being unkind to me and unkind to others. I started becoming kinder to me and kinder to others, and I let others be kind to me. You see, I let go of that self-suppression, that self-repression. I let go of that oppression against myself and oppression against others. I let go of the oppression against my own soul. And so when people are, when they stop being against themselves and against others, because they know Allah is for us, is with us and for us. But we have Allah. When you become Allah aware, really aware, when you stop with your mind and its thinking and satanic, like tempting you to behave in ways and that are not kind to you and others, and Satan wants you to feel bad, guilt, shame you, others are guilty, shame them. Get all this rubbish Satan whispers, and you feel all this bad feeling, and you start like relief, safety and excitement. You start behaving in ways from that. So there's an identity, and you start attracting people like that. You with them and them with you, and your life just gets worse and your health deteriorates and it just gets bad, right? Because you're not caring for you, your body, your life. You're not realizing what you are, what your body is. You're not saying we're the highest of life form on earth, and we've been given the best of molds. You're like, nah, I hate this body. I'll just smoke. I'll eat anything. I won't eat tayyib. I'll just say I'll eat halal, but I won't eat tayyib. You fool yourself thinking you fool Allah, but you only fool yourself. And then you pay the price. And so people who are against themselves and against others, they're not with Allah who's for us, and they don't know Allah is for others. They deny the support. They anti-support. They're into anti-support. Like, it's like we don't know it's all good. That we have guidance, we can learn, grow and develop. The guidance is available to us, it's available to others. We won't be optimistic. Anti-support people are pessimistic, Like I will tell, I did this, you can do it too. Allah is with us, is encouraging us. There's good news, like optimistic and like we can do it. So if you're against yourself and against others, you will never be optimistic. You'll be like, you can't do it, I can't do it, it can't be done. Oh no, we finished. Help us, Allah, help, help. You won't say Allah has given us guidance and we can use that guidance. We can be a benefit to ourselves, that I can benefit me, you can benefit me, and I can benefit you, and you can benefit you in a kind way. Not in a way that only Allah can benefit us and each other. But Allah is benefiting, and He gave us the ability to have a good relationship with Him. We can invoke His forgiveness, His forwarding of us, His fulfilling of us, His protection of us, His progressing of us, His prospering of us. We have a role that we can play with Allah. We can do it. And we have a role in our own lives. We can be kind to ourselves, our bodies, our lives. We can be kind to ourselves. We can be kind to our future selves. We can be kind to our after selves. After you die, you continue to live, and then there's the hereafter and all that. You can be kind to that. You can be interested and play a beneficial role in your life for you. And I can play a beneficial role, and we can do this. Woohoo! People are like, no, it's bad. Help, help. We can't do anything. Oh no. They're missing out. When they get up in the morning, they don't know today is a day that I can draw closer to Allah. Today is a day I can purify my heart. They're in their heads. They're in their distorted thinking. They are in the diseased hearts. They just get controlled by this and that, this world, that happened, this happened. They're not interested in Allah. They're not interested in Allah's love for them. My father didn't love me, my mother didn't care, my husband is not loving me, why am I going through what I'm going through, my ex did this to me, look what they're doing. They focused on the world, who is not loving them, and in the meantime Allah is loving us in a true way that nobody can love us. Let's just focus on, I'll try and love myself, I'm going for a massage, I'm loving myself. You don't know. Ignorant. You know what I mean? They don't know guidance. So when you are against yourself and against others, you will be anti-support. You won't realize we have everything we require. This guidance, we have a mind, you can use it. You can learn, grow and develop. Others can learn, grow. There's nothing holding us back except we want to not learn, grow and develop. We don't want the guidance. That's the only thing holding us back. Be like, no, we've got stories, this, that, and the other, right? Big problems. Everyone's got big problems. The only problem you have is that you haven't received guidance and you haven't become Allah conscious. There's no other problem. If you become Allah conscious, you'll know you are always okay, everything was always okay. You won't be in that mind and the diseased heart, in that identity and living from that, perpetuating it every day, living from that. And then your death comes and you're like, oh my God, what happened? Now for me, when my death comes, I'll be like, how lovely that it happened that every day when I got up in the morning, I chose to submit before my Creator. I chose to bow and be among those who bowed. How wonderful I chose to remember Allah and experience assurance. How wonderful I chose to draw closer to Allah. How wonderful I cleansed my heart. At the time of my death, I'll be like, how wonderful. Other people be like, what happened? Help, please God, please. I'll be like, I'm so grateful I used the day for what it was. This life is for me to see whether I'll incline to truth or I'll live lost in deception of this world. You can live in this world. I do. I enjoy living in this world. Allah's good is in this world. Tayyib living for me. But my first identity is I'm a believer. And that's what I want to emphasize. When I get up in the morning, I remind myself what I am, who I am, where I am, what's going on here. When I get up in the morning, I'm not the human mind and I'm not the human body. When I get up in the morning, I'm not my role and identity. I'm a father, I'm a spouse, I'm a son, I'm a teacher, whatever. I get up in the morning, I am the creation of Allah, the favored creation of Allah. I am the creation of Allah who has been given blessings and benefits that I could never have asked for and even didn't know. I have been unconditionally gifted by Allah. I will not deny Allah. See, you can live in your body mind with all your stories, and you can start off with, I'm a father and I've got problems, my children don't want to listen to me, and I'm a husband and my wife is like, irritating me, that's my problem today, and I'm a worker and my boss is not paying me, and I'm a boss and my staff is not working well, and Black Friday and we've got to worry about this and that. You can start off, you can get up in the morning and you cannot know your true identity. What you really are, where you really are, what's going on here. You can get up in the morning and act arrogant as people who haven't submitted act. You can think it's because of you are, because of you the world is. You can think you're the big cheese, the big deal. Or you can get up in the morning and humble yourself. It's not because of me that I am. It's not because of me that I continue to be. It's not because of me that this world is. It's not because of me that I'm a human being. It's not because of me that I'm blessed. It's not because of us human beings that we are and we continue. It's because of the one universal power. When I get up in the morning, my first intent, my ambition, and I pray that this strengthens for the rest of my life until my death, is to experience spiritual well-being, peace, assurance. And that is only through the remembrance of Allah. If I get up in the morning, and I'm not talking about get up in the morning and take the beads and read the beads, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Allah Akbar. That's just moving beads and saying words, right? But if you move the beads and say the words with awareness, or if you don't even move beads and say the words with awareness, if you just become aware, what I really am is a creation of Allah, the favored creation of Allah, a blessed. I choose to become aware that my first identity is that I'm a creation of Allah. I'm His creation. He alone is all our creator, the one power benevolent, and we are in His care, and He has considered us, and He created us, Ashraful Makhlukat, the most noble of creation, the finest of creation. We are created, and we are blessed and benefited. That's the first thing I want to remind myself of. I came into existence, this world came into existence because of the mercy and kindness and love of Allah, because of His favoring. I'm a favored creation. The first thing I want to do in the morning, if I get up and I don't remember that what I really am is a favored creation of Allah, before I'm a father, before I am a spouse, before I am a whatever, that anything I can be, before I'm a millionaire, before I'm a billionaire, before I'm whatever, before I am a friend, before I am a teacher, before I am a man, before I'm a South African, before I am a Cape Townian, before I am whatever it is, a South African. I am a creation of God in the care of God. That's what I am. If I get up in the morning and I don't become aware that I am a creation of God in His care, I am only because of Him who alone actually is, the ever-living, everlasting, ever-existing. I'm a temporary existence. And this world is a temporary existence. There is the hereafter, and that my one priority, prior means before everything else, priority is to experience a state of well-being. If I don't do that every morning, that my priority is a state of well-being, a state of salam, a state of spiritual well-being, unconditional joy, right? Because it gives me great joy to be a believer. It gives me great joy to be one who is aware that I am a favored creation of God in the care of God. When I look around and I see me and other human beings, that we are the highest life form on earth. Of course, a lot don't behave like that. They are, but they still are. You respect them even if they don't respect themselves. You don't have to like them. Respect them as a creation of Allah. And we've got to respect what Allah has created as a human being, and that we've got the best of molds, and that we are in His care. Which of the favors of your Lord do you deny? The Quran asks. Human beings, how come you're deluded? What has deluded you? Don't fall into the trap of continuing to worship Satan as your foreparents have. The Quran is guidance. So I say, A'udhu Billah, first thing in the morning, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. Before my mind can tell me its stories, before my diseased heart can actually set me out onto the day of reactive living as a human identity, I remind myself, beyond my thinking and beyond my emoting is an awareness of truth. That is my real self. the secure self, the believing self. I choose to be aware of what I am, who I am, where I am, what's going on. I'm a favored creation of God, and I do not want to deny God, nor do I want to deny His favor. So when I get up in the morning, I'm in complete acceptance of God and His favors upon me. And that is a state of well-being. It's got nothing to do with how much I have in the bank or don't have in the bank, who's in my life, who's not in my life, what's the situation with my family and children, what's the situation in my business, what's the situation in the country, what's the situation in different parts of the world. It's an unconditional state. It means it's beyond conditions, it's beyond the temporary conditions, it's beyond what my mind will tell me. This is wrong, and that's right, and what a big deal. I know this is something to worry about. This is something to get upset about. So before my mind can tell me, get upset about this, be worried about that, controlled by this, try to control that, I submit. That there is only God who created us out of love for us. He favored us, we couldn't earn it. He continues to favor us, we can't earn it. He's given to us. I choose to see. I'm a human being. I've got faculties, capabilities, capacities, endowments. I'm willing to see what's really going on here. I have reason, I have guidance, I can use the guidance, I can remember Allah, I can go beyond the satanic mind. I'm choosing to do that. How valuable is that? I can appreciate. The non-believer, the unbeliever, the kuffar who deny truth, the associators or associate partners with a hypocrite, they're not aware. When they get up in the morning, when they are, they might even do their rituals and all that, but there's no awareness of what they are and who their creator is, and that there's love for us, and in a way that nobody can love us, that we already loved, we already blessed, and we went astray. God did nothing bad to us, will never do anything bad to us. God is the fair and the just. God is the lenient and approachable. God is the favoring. We are already the favored creation of God. You don't have to say, oh God, please favor me. Please give me some of your favor. We've already been given the favor. The favor is already upon us. There are people who are like, but we don't have it, we need it. That's because you don't know, you can't see, you're not aware of Allah, and you're not aware of what Allah has given to you, and you're not appreciative of it. So when you are unaware of Allah, you don't have Allah consciousness. You're against yourself, you're against other people, and you are anti-support. You are not pro-support. Like I'll tell you, Allah is with us and for us. He's interested in it, gave us guidance. He's here, closer to you than your own jugular veins. He hears you. He responds to you. There is the support. We have Allah with us. We are supported in a way our parents and nobody can support us, not even us. Allah is with us and for us. He's got our back. Everything is good. There is support. There's nothing to worry about. Allah is for us. People are like, no, there's something to worry about. We don't have something. Something's lacking. Something is missing. So when you're not, with Allah for you, you're against you. And you're against other people. It depends how against yourself you are. And when you're so against yourself, you'll be against others and you'll want to hurt other people. And then there's no you won't be for support. You won't be we can progress and we can move forward. And we can play a role in it. I can't do anything, nobody can do anything, I won't do anything for anybody, nobody will do anything for me. We won't take the opportunity that life is to learn, grow and develop. We're not for support. We're not for there's an opportunity here. We'll be no opportunity here, things are just bad and pessimism, you know what I mean? And, what happens after that? If you are against yourself and against others and you are anti-support, you're not pro-support, there's good news. Allah is calling us to the path. He's the forgiving, He's the merciful. We can correct. There's nothing to worry about. You're no, there's something to worry about. We've got no opportunities, there are big problems. Help, help. You're living in that state of Allah unconsciousness. You're denying Allah and His favors. You're denying the opportunity. Then what happens is people become antisocial. You know what's antisocial? Antisocial is when you hate people and you're against people, and you hurt people and harm people and their properties, their property. You'll damage things, you'll steal things, antisocial behaviors. Pro-social is when you'll care for people and you'll respect them and their property. You'll respect that, you'll behave with good conduct with people if you're pro-social. If you're antisocial, you'll be what's all that? Your heart is diseased, right? So people, when they are Allah unaware, as I speak from my own experience, they they don't they're critical of themselves, and they're critical of others, and they criticize others, and they don't see the good in themselves, they don't see the good in others, they don't see there's some good in me, I can expand it. They say, oh, I'm so bad, everything bad about me, I'm either good or bad. They won't know, they'll be in black and white thinking, they'll be either this or that. They won't realize, look, there's some good in me, and I can expand that good, and I'm going to do that. They'll be like, I'm so bad, and they'll look at others and say, you're so bad, all bad. They won't see there's some good in you, and you can expand that, and let's learn, let's grow. They won't encourage others, they'll discourage others. Do you know anybody who's discouraging? Do you know anybody who's discouraging you? I'm saying this so that you can recognize where you are, and you can recognize where others are. Are you the human minus the being? Are you the human that's not being? Or are you the human that's being? And if you're being, are you humane? Are you realizing Allah is more than humane? Divine main. You know what I mean? Humane. Divine. I make a word. Like we can be humane, but Allah is divine. Do you understand? Like what? Not divine, but divine. But He loves. He's kind. In a way that nobody can be. You know, who's open to see that? Tell me what to read and how many times must I read it, says the people who are blind, worshipping, who don't want to hear the message of the Quran. They don't want to have a relationship with Allah. But that's got nothing to do with me, right? Allah has given me guidance, He's guided me to remember Him, have a relationship with Him, and respond to Him. And I choose to, every morning when I get up, humble myself. And I choose to be in a state of well-being, spiritual well-being. I choose to remind myself, no matter what is going on in the world, I have every reason to feel good. There's a core, fundamental level of connection that is beyond the mind and the body, that is through the being, that allows me to be at peace, and it allows me to be patient. It allows me to progress. See? So, here's a tip. You get up in the morning, you have an opportunity to remember Allah and draw closer to Allah. You can forget about you, and forget about the world, and forget about other people. And you can begin to see and become aware that we are supported, sorted, and supplied. You can experience being at ease when you get up in the morning. That if there was no Allah, and if Allah wasn't loving, and if He wasn't kind, if Allah wasn't forgiving, then we can feel stressed. There's nothing to feel stressed about. Allah's will is always done in our favor. Look, we are alive. There's nothing we need to do to be alive as human beings. We are the favored creation of Allah. Can you look and see what makes us the favored creation? Can you look at animals? Animals can't express in the way that I'm expressing. Animals can't experience ease and peace and joy and joyfulness and healthy enjoyment in a natural way. Human beings can't. Animals, we haven't seen animals love and be patient and be kind and be generous. But we can. Are you realizing, do you want to? So some people they're too far gone, right? Whether you tell them this or you don't tell them this, it means nothing. Some people who, if you can hear me and you realize, you know what? I'm missing out on a great level of gratitude every morning. I'm getting up and I'm not going into gratitude. Sometimes I'm thankful for my car, and I'm thankful for my husband, and I'm thankful for all the things that work out for me. But the moment when something doesn't work out for them, the people, they turn their back towards Allah. The Quran has a verse that says that. There are people when everything is going well, we're so thankful, whatever. The moment when something is not in their favor, they're like, why God, why did you do this to me? I don't like you anymore. You know what I mean? They're conditional. They don't have a wider understanding. They're like in the superficial level. So I'm saying, will you go into unconditional? Will you enter into the unconditional space? Because that's the real you. That's the multidimensional you. That's the believing you. The one that is aware and is experiencing. If you don't become Allah aware, and you don't experience His mercy and His love, His kindness, if you don't experience that what you are is a creation of God in the care of God, how favored you are, that you are a favored creation of God, that you are given everything that you need, whatever you need you already have. You have everything you need to exist. You have everything you need to be human. You have everything you need to live, to be. You have guidance to enlighten you. You have everything we need to be, we already have. Everything that we need to be at ease, we already have. Everything that we need to be joyful, we already have. Everything that we need, we already have. Everything that we need to be grateful, we already have. Everything that we have is enough. There's nothing we're going to get in the future that's going to make us more secure than what we want. What we have now is more valuable than anything we're going to have in the future. If you're thinking, no, in the future I'm going to feel happy because that, when I get that money, it's so valuable. You're fooling yourself. You're worshipping Satan. Your mind is distorted. Heart is diseased. You're Satan. You got all these foolish ideas in your head, and you're ignorant. You haven't received the guidance of the Quran, the guidance of the Messenger. You haven't received the truth spoken by all the universal truth teachers. So, I choose when I get up in the morning to humble myself before God, to know what I am. If some identity kicks in, if I think I'm a father, if I think I'm a spouse, if I think I'm a son, or if I think if I'm a business owner, if I think I'm a whatever I might think I am, if that takes over, then I've forgotten who I am. I'm here to remember. And that's why you've got to keep reminding the believers, for reminding benefits the believers. Reminding benefits the believers to remember what you really are. You're a favored creation of God, and so is everybody. You might not be aware that you're a favored creation of God. You might not be aware of it. You might not experience it. You might not feel the joy of being that. You might think I'm a husband. You might think I'm a wife. You might think I'm a mother first. But I'm a believing father. First, I am a creation of God, and I'm a favored creation of God. I look at other people and I see them as the favored creation of God. Before I see my mother, before I see my son or anybody, I look at them and I say, you're the favored creation of God. You're not my mother. You're not my son. You're first favored. You belong to God. I don't belong to you. I'm not yours. Like when I say you're not my mother, of course my mother is my mother. But you're not mine. You don't belong to me. You're not my mother. You're not my son. You don't belong to me. You belong to Allah. And although I'm your son, I'm your father, but I'm not yours. We belong to Allah. See? When you get up in the morning, most people don't know what they are, and they don't remember Allah, and they don't identify with their true spiritual nature. They think that they are something else other than a favored creation of God. And when people live their lives unaware that they are favored, they don't feel that peace, they don't feel that joy, they don't feel that assurance. There's no peace there. They blame themselves, they blame other people, they attack themselves, they attack others. They carry on worshipping Satan. There's no patience. They don't practice patience. Allah is with those who are patient. Those of us who know what we are, our real identity, what we are as human beings, as the highest life form on earth, with the favored creation of God, given the best of molds. We have been given guidance. We went astray. God did nothing bad to us. God told Adam and Eve, don't eat of the tree. They ate. And even after they ate, God gave them guidance and called us back. God has done nothing bad. We are the creation of God in the care. Our first relationship is not our parents, not our bosses, not our children, not our spouses, not even us. It's with the one who created us. I humble myself every day, morning to the day, and before I go to bed at night, especially when I get emotional, if I do, very rarely, and when there's drama and trauma. That's when I choose peace. We are people of peace. The believers are people of peace. And we are people who know that whether people know that they are the creation of God or not, whether they know they're favored or not. Remember, when you remember Allah, He remembers you. So when I remember Allah, I experience Him remembering me. Now, if I didn't, I wouldn't feel that, And if I don't remember Allah, mine will be a depressed life. Now, when you look at other people, so mine is not a depressed life anymore, right? It was. Because I remember Allah, mine is not a depressed life. But when you look at people, not only are we the favored creation of Allah, they are also human beings, favored creation. We have human esteem. We know what we are and what other people are, but they don't know what they are. They think I'm the father who's sad, I'm the mother who's disappointed, I'm the wife who is depressed. That's what they think they are. They don't know, they don't believe in Allah in the last day. They say they believe, but they just think that they're in this world. They haven't humbled themselves. That is because of Allah they are, and Allah has caringly caused us to be and continues us and considers us, He's championed us, He's cherished us, He calls us to the path and He cheers us along the way. Go boy, go. Yes, I'm on the way. You take one step towards Allah, it takes 10 towards you. If you remember Allah, remember you. So I'm feeling it, right? I'm feeling the joy, I'm feeling the security, I'm feeling the peace. At least when I get up in the morning through the day, whenever I choose to, I submit, I bow, and I feel it. Now when I look around me, other people are unaware. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they are. They don't know what's going on. They might say they believe in Allah in the last day, but their hearts are diseased because they're not remembering Allah. They're not submitting. They're not choosing peace. They're not experiencing that assurance. So when I look at them, I know they're okay. I know because I know what they are. They're the favored creation of Allah. I know that they have the care of Allah upon. They don't know it because they're not remembering Allah. They're not experiencing Allah's remembrance of them. And failing to remember Allah, theirs will be a depressed life. They don't know that they're creating their own depression. They don't know that. I know that. I can see that. You know what I mean? So I know I'm okay. I know they're okay. They don't know I'm okay. They don't know they're okay. They just think they're lost in their minds. They can't see clearly. They're lost. And sometimes you try to tell them, you know what? It's only Allah to focus on and feel about. Hey, I got this big problem. Oh no. Help me. You know what I mean? Help me, Allah. Help. Hypocrites, they pray unbelieving. Do not pray as the hypocrites pray. You know? The prayers of those who do not believe is nothing but vain prayers. You see, if you're aware of who you are, the creation of, if you're aware of Allah, you'll be aware of who you are, you'll be aware of who humanity is, human esteem, you'll feel it. And you will know you're okay, and you will know everybody's okay, even though they don't know they're okay, and they act like they're not okay, and they live a depressed life, but you will know. This is what I aspire to, and I recommend it for you as a good practice. Live in the world of security. When you remember Allah, you know you're okay, you know you're okay, you know everybody's okay. Although they don't know you're okay, they don't know they're okay, they are not okay, and they with each other, they're not okay, and they're killing each other, but you must know we're all okay. We're the creation of Allah, the favorite creation of Allah. He has given us everything we require. Nothing is missing, nothing lacking. If we don't have something, it's there for us to claim it. We can invoke it and receive it. It's not that we need it. If you don't have it, you don't need it. But you can want it, and it's there for you. And we have been given the ability to see and feel into alternate realities and claim them. We can recognize we've been given His favor and potentials and possibilities, and we can choose it, and it becomes. This is the first humility. I'm just going to allude briefly to the second humility. This is a secret. I'm giving you my secret. That most people don't know. They're just living their lives. They don't know about Allah and how to submit. They don't know how to realize they're okay and everything is okay. They don't know how everybody... They think my son is not okay. They just don't realize the son is not aware of Allah. Therefore, they're not experiencing the okayness that they are. People are not aware of Allah and they're not aware of who they are to Allah. That's the problem. They don't want to remember. They worship Satan. Satan doesn't want you to remember. They want to hurt themselves, hurt each other. They want to be antisocial and, criticize each other. Don't say good things. This is how you know when people got diseased hearts. Woe to those who stand in prayer, but whose hearts lack the smallest of kindnesses. And you will be able to see those who are really Allah aware and are kind. Why do you think I do this? I'm not trying to show you I'm kind. I am kind. Because I can see the kindness of Allah upon me and I receive it. And I can kindly give you this information, promoting your own security, promoting you having the best for you in this world and the world beyond, without shaming you and guilt-tripping you and making you feel bad. No. See? That's how you recognize a believer. That's how you recognize a believer. You see people, they shame you, they blame you, they want to run you down. They're antisocial. Watch out. They stand in prayer, but their hearts lack the smallest of kindnesses. They're hypocrites. Watch out. Well, it's up to you what you do with your life. It's your soul. The second humility is when you realize that, we got a lot of learning, growth and development. That Allah has guided us in this learning, growth and development for us to do spiritual development, psychological development, social development, interpersonal development, societal development. And you realize that we're all underdeveloped to some degree or another. And you don't feel bad and guilt. You don't try to go, no, I'm not underdeveloped. You start realizing, look, I'm creating problems in my own life through my own underdevelopment. I want to learn, grow and develop. The Quran speaks about education, real knowledge, from the cradle to the grave, keep learning. Now some of us no, we know everything. We went to madrasa. I'm the guru, I'm the pandit. I know everything. I listen to my guru and pandit. But you're not learning, growing. So a lot of people don't want to admit that they're underdeveloped. But I admit I'm humble. There's a lot of things I've learned and there's a lot of things I still got to learn. And I'm comfortable with it. I don't feel shame about that. I'm on the path of learning. A lot of people are no, not me. I'm not guilty. Don't tell me I'm doing wrong things. It's other people. Other people hold on to guilt. They don't receive the compassion of Allah. And they project guilt onto others. They don't recognize Allah as compassionate. So I humble myself before Allah and I know who Allah is to me. And I know who I am to Him. It changes my whole awareness and experience of life. I'm focused in a very different way in this world. First I'm a believer, then I'm a father, I'm a son, whatever it is. You know what I mean? First I'm a believer, then I'm a human. First I'm aware of Allah, then I'm aware of this world. First I'm aware of what my soul is, aware of peace. Then I'm interested in applying myself in this world and receiving His good. First is Iman in my heart, then is my Amal and the life tayyibun. And so I got to learn Amal and support a life tayyibun, and everybody's got to do that. If you are at peace, you can choose progress and you can support prosperity. If you're not at peace, if you don't humble yourself before God and knowing that everything is okay, I've got to learn, grow and develop, and I'm willing to learn, grow, and everybody's got to learn, grow and develop. We act like, no, I'm perfect, it's not me, somebody else, their fault. This is where you humble yourself and you realize I and everybody else, we're underdeveloped. It's okay, we can learn, grow and develop. I'm allowed to be underdeveloped, everybody's allowed to be underdeveloped. We can all learn, grow and develop. We can. Instead of saying I'm not wrong and I'm perfect, you are wrong, you are perfect. This is when patience enters into our hearts, We start realizing compassionately ourselves and compassion to others. We can't do better for where we are now. The compassion of Allah is upon us. We're sorry for where we're letting ourselves down. We can invoke the forgiveness of Allah. We can really invoke the forgiveness of Allah. We can take responsibility for our learning and where we're failing ourselves, and we can do the best we can do. We can be from being kind to ourselves and kind to others. We can support ourselves and support others. And we can be pro-social. We can support our own and other people's growth. And we can be pro-social rather than anti-social. We can be peaceful. And we can be progressive. Say the things I know, the things I don't know, I want to learn more. So say, I should be perfect. And when things don't work out, we act like it's not us. Or we blame other people, project guilt onto them. Say, you don't know, I don't know, we all don't know, we can all learn. Let's learn. We can humble ourselves. Second humility is that I can learn, others can learn. When we look at other people, we also say, oh, you should be perfect, you should be perfect. We realize you are like us. We're all in the same boat. Either we will learn or we won't learn. We won't expect others to be perfect. We won't expect ourselves to be perfect. But we'll expect progress from us and others. We'll be more forgiving to ourselves and forgiving to others because we recognize Allah is not only merciful to us and gave us compassionately from His love, best for us, but even when we went astray and we forgot, and it's time to remember, and it's time to receive the teaching of the Quran and the teaching of the Prophet to move forward in life and to live in a beneficial way, we can do it humbly. Instead of acting like we're perfect, all holy moly, self-righteous, or expecting others to be perfect. We can be humble and say, look, we are where we are. The world is where it is. And we can be in the receiving of that truth. That we're not expecting ourselves and anybody else to be perfect. But we are expecting ourselves what we can do, the best we can do. And we are expecting from others that they can learn. So we can be with people without blaming them. You, it's your fault. You can say, look, my life is the way it is because I'm not living with Iman, Amal, a life tayyibun. I'm not really functioning in a way that is caring to me and caring to others. I can learn to care for me and care for others, and I can let others care for me. I can learn that. I can learn to live honorably. I want to learn to live honorably. And others can learn to live honorably. From faith, we can learn to live honorably. From security, we can be selfful. We can be lifeful. We can be future lifeful and afterlifeful. We can participate in our lives beneficially. We can. Others can too. We can promote a better quality of life in this world all the way into our future, to our death and beyond. We can do that. Or not, if you don't want to. We don't have to blame people for our lives and where it is. We can look at where we have been worshipping Satan and how we've been acting in a way that holds us back in this world to our death and beyond. We can look at it. We don't have to blame it. We can say we are the ones operating without being the best human beings we can be. We are the ones not supporting the best life we can have. You know what I mean? We can admit it. And we can look at others instead of saying they are victims, look how bad things are for them. We can say they are unaware that Allah's love is, they are unaware what they are and who they are, the favourite creation of God. They are unaware of the love of God. They're not feeling the spiritual peace and the joy. And the Iman hasn't entered into their heart. And they're not really caring for themselves. They don't want to act in a responsible, beneficial way. They don't want to learn. They're making life difficult for themselves. Allah, why you did that to them? Why you did that to them? ignorant people blaming Allah. Allah is the faultless, Allah is the flawless, Allah is beyond fault, Allah is the perfect. Allah gave us everything. When we don't know, when we can't see that, we start blaming Allah. Why you did that to me? Why you did that to others? We can start taking responsibility humbly. I have to learn, I have to grow, I have to learn how to live, I have to learn how to live a good life. The Quran is guidance, the Prophet is guidance, Islam is there for us to live, to actually live. Not to say I'm a Muslim, but you don't know what the Quran is saying, what Allah really is, the love, the mercy, the compassion, the teaching of Islam. You have no clue what it's all about. And then just blaming Allah. So this is the two humilities that I practice, and I want to practice more and more every day. Be humble before Allah, to know His perfection, and He's enough. He's given us everything we require. That if I can't see it, it's not that He hasn't given it to me, it's just I can't see it, I want to see it. And that in my life, He's given me the ability to act in a way that benefits me, my body, my life, my future body, my future self, my future life, and my after self, my afterlife. It's given me I want to play that role instead of acting like, no, I got nothing to do. It's all happening to me. And I want to play the role of receiving high quality people into my life. I want believers. Believers must be with believers. The Quran says believers must be with believers. I want real believers, not hypocrites in my life. Get what I mean? So shukr to Allah who has guided me to the path of human excellence. I just feel more and more secure every day, and from that security I can be more self-full, and I can support a tayyib life, a satisfying life. I can be in my peace every day more and more. I can be in my power to progress and play a positive, progressive role in my life. And I can receive His good in this world and the world beyond. I can experience the prosperity of this world, and that by being peaceful, patient and powerful. By being peaceful, patiently, applying myself progressively and allowing myself to have what is in this world that benefits me. I've opened my way to paradise in the world beyond. Shukr to Allah who has guided me. It strengthens me along the straight path. An actual straight path, not an idea of the straight path. Living it, where you get to feel better and better every day, and it reflects back to you in this world, throughout death and beyond. The blessings of Allah on that path. If you're not feeling that blessing of Allah on that path, you're not on the path. It says, guide us to the straight path, the path upon which your blessings are bestowed. So I'm feeling the blessings being bestowed on the path, so I'm really on the path. I'm not trying to say that you're not. I'm just saying, check to see if you're really on which road are you on. So all praise, glory and thanks is due to Allah Almighty's choicest blessings upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.